Hi, my name is Courtney Amani, and I work as an assistant manager for a talent management company.
Hi, Courtney.
My question is, you had mentioned imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And I wanted to know what was the pinnacle point where you had felt that, and how did you combat that? More so in relation to Tems, because I feel like you kind of spoke a little bit about it with regards to Nancy.
Yeah, so like I said, when you're in an environment that is new, right, it tends to be uncomfortable. And what tends to happen as a result of that is you start questioning yourself, right? I think fundamentally I had to remember who I was. But the truth is, I could only find who I was based off the way God saw me, because I did not create myself. Does that make sense? And that's why I said what happened during that period was my priorities changed, and I could be solid in that because that was me. I don't care about money or cars or girls. Do you understand? Like, I care about like networking and being available to the people. And I realized that, you know what, even if I'm in these settings, I'm just going to use that as my best leg forward. And if it works for me, cool. If it doesn't work for me, it just means that's not for me. Because at the end of the day, people want the whole world, but you're only assigned what is meant for you. And what is meant for you is for you. Do you understand? It's different. Oh, this is what I want. Now, what is meant for you? And that's completely different. So overcoming the imposter syndrome came from changing my value system as a result of aligning with my creator, and based off that, leading with that, and not the expectation of what people felt I should be because I am something, you know.
Hi, my name is Muyiwa Awoniyi.
Your name is Muyiwa?
Muyiwa Awoniyi.
I was going to be happy. Right.
Yeah, so I run a fun tech startup in Nigeria called Fajia. I have like two questions. First question is, Tems blew up like globally, like all over the world. Like Afrobeat artists are going like exporting and all, but like Tems was like crazy. Yeah. So like my question is like, do you think you like did any special things to like make her go that big? And if you did those things, what are those things? And second question is, sorry, one more question. Yeah. And then as a manager, you are listening to your artist like time over time. How do you fine-tune your taste bud to make sure that like you're able to give her like constructive feedback and like you are not just like getting
being a yes man. Okay, so as you guys know, Tems' music is actually not Afrobeat. So organically, the world will be more receptive to what they can understand. Do you understand? Or rather, easier to understand. You get? So that's the first thing. I feel her music plays a very key part into that. The second thing is basically the alignments we choose to have. Do you get? It's not everything that came to us that we decided to do. We focus on things that will propel her. Do you understand? Strategically, whether it's brands or whether it's collaborations, because collaborations actually help to increase your brand leverage, but it's who you're working with that matters. I've been very blessed to obviously have a friend called Wizkid, and that's the biggest. Do you understand? So you would say no to everybody until it's Wizkid, right? Because that makes sense for what you're trying to achieve globally. And like I said, because of the music, Essence stood out. Do you understand? It's the music fundamentally that will make you stand out. And for me, like I said, anything that is not Afrobeat is easier for me to work with because I can tell a true story because it gives me a different emotion than just rocks or partying. Do you understand? It gives me something that is real. And working with something that is real and someone that actually knows herself, it's easier. And that's why I always say, look, focusing on personal development is probably the most fundamental thing, which is about to answer your second question. With me and Tems, what we actually do is have conversations about life more than music. Do you understand? Because this music thing, that's natural to her. Marketing, branding, management in general, that's natural to me, right? But what we need to do is focus on holding ourselves accountable based off what we feel our vision is in terms of our personal growth. You understand? So, for example, now, there was a time my diet was rubbish, right? Tems just came to me and said, start drinking celery and kale. Worked wonders for my life. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because unknowns to me, I had high blood pressure. Do you understand? Checked it out. I was like, man, I'm going to drop dead if I'm not careful. Started that P. It changed. Do you understand? As a result of that, I know I can trust her feedback. Do you understand what I'm saying? Same thing with me and her. I'm like, look, I think you shouldn't add this to this EP because it doesn't convey A, B, C, D. Listens to me. Good feedback. Do you understand? So it's just trust at the end of the day that allows for like a relationship to thrive between artist, manager, etc. So does that answer your question? Okay, cool.
Hi everyone, my name is Koye Sachs. I'm a big fan of Muyiwa.
Koye, this is a very talented saxophonist, by the way. He's
Pick him up, please.
Yeah.
So my manager actually came for your event in Lagos.
Yeah.
And from there our trajectory has just overblown, and we thank you
thank
for
God.
that. So another
I'm coming
thing
for your event, by the way.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So you advised my manager to have an event in in London to build our fan base. Oh yes, I'm a saxophonist. Sorry, I'm a saxophonist. So we have an event in London next week, and that's part of the things you advised Taddy on. And you said that that would be a good opportunity to build our brand in London and to distinguish ourselves as an artist, not just saxophone as well.
Yeah.
So my main question is, how do we find brand deals, find things to sponsor the brand, sponsor the concert, particularly just starting up?
I'll give you an example. The first instance I did, I put all my money behind it. The second one, I put all my money behind it. But what it did was allow this third one to be financed. Do you understand? It's just like releasing your debut song as well. It's putting your hook in the water to see what you catch. But you're not even putting a hook, you're putting a net. Do you understand what I'm saying? Another thing I'll say is this. Because obviously you had to put money behind yourself to throw this show, right? Also budget for PR. Do you understand? And that's something that I need to expand on a bit more. PR would allow your events to transcend just what has happened on that day. But you actually need to gather the content to give these PR people. Because at the end of the day, it's like LinkedIn. Do you understand? Like, you need to put out what you've done, not just on your social media, but on different blogs or different platforms. And also invite people that can showcase that this event has actually happened. Do you understand? Because, like I said, I'm coming. I'm going to post it on my story. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm going to tag you. People are going to see. But by the mere fact that you're actually doing something is going to make a change. Do you understand? Though, I always say something, there's nothing like loss. It's just lessons, right? But the only way you lose is when you don't do anything. Do you understand? So you're already on your way. Trust me. Call your sacks, everybody.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Hi, Muyiwa.
What's your name?
My name is Dami.
Dami, how far?
I represent an artist called Beanie Boy.
Dope.
And pretty much I just wanted to ask you was, what's on your checklist before every release? So whether that be more or less like a single, this can be what was on your checklist before, so pretty much when you were still coming up, and now where you're at. So what has changed pretty much on your checklist before every release?
That's a very good question, actually. I think they don't differ that much. It's just the impact of whatever you're doing is going to increase as your brand leverage increases. So I would say the first thing is obviously having a music video. Do you understand? You should have a video that aligns with your what's it called? With your single. The second thing is having your radio pluggers on deck. You understand? You need to have that as well. You also need to have your content on deck as well. You need to have like things that would keep the song in engagement. And for me personally, I love live performances as a form of engagement because it actually shows the raw talent outside of just the musicality. Most people like to dance on TikTok. That's fantastic. But me, I like to focus on artistry because that's strong enough. I always tell people to be an influencer is not attention, it's authority. And the only way you establish your authority is showcasing that I am exactly what you think I am when you hear my songs. So live performance visuals are also very key. Another thing I would say is just your network as well. Like people that you have, whether it's blasting emails or whatever, to say, yo, this single is about to pop or etc. Another thing is having connects to TV stations as well. Do you understand? Now, everything I'm talking to you about right now is very local in terms of Nigeria, right? Internationally, it's a bit different. You have to do things like what Koye is doing, like doing showcases, recording it. Because at the end of the day, your social media will switch in engagements because you've done something that is different from the norm and what you do. You get? If, let's say, for example, you start all these things I'm saying to do in Nigeria, and then you travel to London and see you're doing a show, people are going to be interested. Okay, how is this show going to be? Do you understand? I can already tell you that my numbers on Instagram, just because of the fact that I'm doing this in London, has spiked up. Do you understand? Because it's London. Doing it in Nigeria, doing it in Ghana. But this guy sold out in London. How? But yeah, may I even see if not just like audio? May I see if it's actually real? So they'll wait and they'll tune in. Do you understand? Because you've switched your content. So it's really just... And I'll say the last thing is this. Don't create content, document. Do you understand? And that's very different because documentation is storytelling. So as the music is out, you need to keep people engaged by the life you live. And it has to be authentic and organic. Don't force it with gimmicks because you can't fool the fans. They will smell it. Do you understand? So yeah, I think these are the core things and everything else would sort itself out.
Cool. First of all, I just want to say...
Have I seen you before?
Many places now.
Okay, fair enough. Look familiar.
but yeah, what's good? I go by the name Buzz and Producer, everyone. I'm honored to be here with so much talent, so much beautiful faces. You know what I'm saying? But no, but seriously, the question I have to ask you today is, what do you look for in a up-and-coming producer when working with your artist? And also, as a second part to that is, do you believe or do you think that a producer can have or aid an artist's brand? Yeah, that's my question. Buzz and Producer, guys. Buzzin.
That's a fantastic question. So I'll start with the first one. My artist just needs to love your beats. Do you understand? That's one. And then two, which is more importantly, she must love your character. Because even if she likes your beats, she's going to assess you. Okay, who is this one? Do you understand? Are you just here for clouds? Or what are you like? What do you stand for as a person? So those are the two things. And then, yes, and a producer can help an artist's brand. Shout out my brother SARS, man. SARS is a beat. Yeah, SARS is a producer. He's not a beat maker, and I'll explain why. SARS can... I'll give you a very typical example. Have you guys heard of this artist called Flash? Flash was a rapper. Like, he came to SARS rapping, like rapidy rap. And SARS just looked at him and said, stop rapping. Start singing. You have a good tone. And Flash's life changed. World is another artist, right? He listened to World's music and was like, you need this, you need that, you need that. And we're going to oil it this way as a result of our collaboration. Do you understand? He's done the same with Loji as well. He's done the same thing with Niniola. SARS has the ability to give you a sound that is unique to what is obvious to him to be your selling point. Do you understand? And I think as a producer, in order for you to be able to do this, you must be very, very intelligent in spotting out people's unique selling points. Do you understand? Even if they don't know it. Because Flash in his mind was a dope rapper. But hearing his tone, SARS was like, no, it's not rap. Come and sing. Just sing some melodies over this. He oiled it with his engineering stuffs. And Flash was popping, do you understand? So yes, a producer can definitely create a brand for an artist because the brand is attached to the sound, like I said earlier. So yeah, that can happen.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank y'all for sitting through session 2 of Insights London. All right, like I said, I want to appreciate y'all for paying attention.